Oh my gosh, not another video about Logan Paul. Hey friends, Spanky Valentine here. Welcome to my face. And we're going full force. I know this has not been the regularly scheduled programming here on this channel, but after my video that I posted yesterday, so many of you guys responded overwhelmingly that you want to see more of these videos, which made me so freaking excited. But I was like, why don't we just finish out the week with tea time and then we will get back to the regular schedule. I'm thinking about doing the tea time videos maybe like once a week. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I don't know, maybe it'll be like every Saturday it's tea with Spanky, where we can just like sit down, pull up a cup, and like throw the shade and learn a few things along the way. And oh my gosh, I just realized I am wearing a cat shirt and I got a cat mug. I look like a crazy cat lady. Send help. I would also like to shamefully point out that I am in fact still wearing yesterday's makeup. I've been in this for more than 24 hours at this point. For anyone right now who wants to come for me in the comments over my hygiene, please do. I deserve it. Alright, so for anyone out there who's like, oh my gosh, why is she still talking about Logan Paul? I'm so sick of hearing about Logan Paul. Don't worry, this video is not about Logan Paul. It's literally what the title said, not another video about Logan Paul. But I want to use that and those two videos that I posted the past couple of days as a catalyst to now have a deeper discussion about mental health, because I think it is a subject that is vastly important and something that affects all of humankind that largely gets swept under the rug. I figured I would share a little bit more of my personal experiences and how I have dealt with my own depression and anxiety and my thoughts of suicide that I've struggled with for years. I have no idea if I'm gonna break down into tears or if I'm gonna be like this. I'm kind of in this mood right now where I'm like, depression, I'm about to kick your ass, okay? We're gonna sip all kinds of tea on you because somebody needs to, okay? Just to make this clear, I am not a doctor, I am not an expert, I am purely going to be speaking from my own personal experiences. I am not speaking about those dealing with clinical depression and a chemical imbalance in their brain that requires a different type of medical professional assistance. There's no, like, I don't know where to start when I talk about my experiences with depression. I'll try to keep this brief, but some of my earliest memories as a kid growing up were being bullied. When I was like elementary school age and middle school age, I was bullied ruthlessly and coming home in tears almost every single day, and that was largely because I looked different. I grew up in an area that was predominantly Caucasian, and so I was the only like mixed little brown girl running around everywhere, and there were just some kids who picked on me constantly, all the time, called me names, made fun of my hair, made fun of my skin color, made fun of my looks, and just degraded me to the point where I just felt broken at the end of like every school day. And sometimes I would share these feelings with my mom, sometimes I wouldn't, sometimes I would just internalize it. And my mom was great. She was always extremely encouraging and complimentary to me. She knew that she kind of had to be that way, otherwise I probably wasn't going to survive mentally. As a result of being bullied so much, I overcompensated by having to try to be the best at everything. And I put so much pressure on myself to do the best thing, make the best thing. I feel like in a lot of ways I'm considered kind of that classic like tortured artist. I am an extreme perfectionist in a lot of ways, and because so many of my peers had made me feel like I was total and complete trash and not worthy of walking around and existing because of the way that I looked. I would often say that I didn't do enough. It wasn't good enough. I failed. I didn't live up to the expectations that I should have. I'm the worst thing ever. I don't even know why I bother with this. Why am I even here? What is my purpose? What am I doing? Sometimes I set expectations so high they're actually impossible to achieve, and it's almost like I'm setting myself up to feel like a failure. On top of all of that, I was also a victim of extreme mental and emotional abuse growing up by a family member. I will get into that maybe in another video. It's too much to dive into right now. As a result of some of that stuff that I was going through when I was a teen, I had some massive downward spirals, things that I was doing to myself that were extremely harmful and dangerous, and that's another video. Again, there's a lot of things that are like, that's another topic. Around a similar time when this was like really starting to bubble over emotionally for me, I was in a car accident. I've been in a couple of car accidents that triggered some pretty extreme, severe chronic pain. I have 3 bulged, herniated discs in my spine, as well as some other injuries that triggered this chronic pain disease called fibromyalgia and tension myositis syndrome. That's a mouthful. It basically means that my nerves are overfiring and over-triggering for a lot of pain, in addition to the bulged discs that are pressing directly on my spine and my nerves. So for many, many, many years now, I'm at a constant state of pain that's in my neck and in my upper body, and has now affected my lower back. I've been hospitalized last year. Most people do not know this about me, and I think one of the hardest things about living specifically with chronic pain is this: I've perfected the art of putting on this happy mask and putting on this happy face. And I wear that mask every single day of my life, because the reality is I am in pain most days of my life. I also happen to be blessed with the wonderful gift of being allergic to nearly every kind of narcotic and pain medication that exists. Because those medications make me really sick, I can't really take a whole lot of prescription medication. It has been over 10 years since I have been without pain, which when I think about that, it sucks. I know, like, wearing this happy mask is in effect a defense mechanism, but it's also the thing that had enabled me to just like continue to live. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys, it is often what I was wearing in a lot of the videos that I've posted on this channel. Not to say that the videos that I post were inauthentic, because they weren't, because there's still that side of me that's like, I'm gonna like overcome this and I'm gonna be happy today and I'm gonna like shoot this video. But the reality is, was my body physically in pain while I was filming most of those? Absolutely. In those times, I feel like a shadow. I feel like a shadow of the person that I was supposed to be, because I wasn't her. Because she's over here and she's this amazing creature with all of this purpose and focus and drive, and I'm over here wearing a mask pretending to be her, but all the while feeling like I'm trapped and I'm stuck and I'm suffocating, and like there's no end to that darkness. There've been so many periods in my life where I just fall into what feels like this dark pit of despair, and I have these ebbs and flows with it. I will have these surges of energy and like, let's go, 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 and then I fall back into that pit of desolation where I feel like nothing I do is ever going to amount to anything. My career is a dismal failure. I've achieved nothing in my life. I've said nothing with my life. I've contributed nothing to society, and that's going to be my legacy, is a legacy of nothingness. And in those times, I'm either crying immensely on the floor, or I am just sitting staring at a wall, or I'm laying in bed and I'm not getting out of that bed. And the other extreme of that is I have many times just been on the floor vomiting my guts out, because the mental pain was so severe. Just was stuck. It's like you're in this quicksand and you're sinking and you don't know what to say. You don't know who to just call out to, and you don't think that anyone's going to pull you out of it, or that you have to pull yourself out of it, because shame on you for getting in that quicksand in the first place. And so you almost deserve to sink. And these are the lies that my mind would tell me when I was in the darkest parts of that depression. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't still have those feelings at times. I just don't have them every day, which is a mass improvement. I had no idea that I was going to be sharing this today. I've always felt like I'm going to make that video. I'm going to talk about the chronic pain. I'm going to talk about depression and anxiety, and that I had to be really prepared for it, and that I had to, like, I don't know, craft some like amazing, powerful video. And so I just kept putting it off and putting it off. And I think what I've realized now is by putting it off, I was giving the depression, the anxiety, more power than it should have in my life, because I was giving it this pedestal. I was almost putting it in this glass case and like putting it on a shelf and saying, oh, like, you're such an entity in my life. The thing is, it is in a glass box, and I can take that down and I can smash it into a million pieces. Your depression, your anxiety, those thoughts of suicide that you may have had, it's a part of you, and it's important to acknowledge that and come to terms with that, but it does not define you. It is not you. It does not put you in that box. It's in a box that you can destroy, but it is not who you are. It does not make you. It is just a facet of what makes you stronger and better and important in this world. And I'm about to sip some tea on that glass box right now. Raise your cups. Let's do this. That actually feels pretty good. This thing that it cultivates in the brain about blaming yourself. If you're blaming yourself for your depression, you are literally blaming the victim. And I hate using the word victim, because ultimately at the end of the day, we are stronger than that and we are better than that. But at the same time, it's okay to feel that vulnerability, because that is not a sign of weakness. And feeling depression, it does not mean that you are weak. It does not mean that I am weak. It just means that you are emotionally dealing with something so profound, or your mind hasn't figured out how to deal with whatever you're going through. You are not weak, and you are never to be shamed for that. There is nothing shameful about feeling that. But what's most important is realizing that, so that you can take steps to seek help, to talk to somebody professional. Unfortunately, depression and extreme anxiety can lead to thoughts of suicide, and that's something that I have personally also struggled with for many, many years. I would visualize, what would that look like? How would I do it? What might it feel like? What will happen after I do it? Will I write a letter? Who am I going to write this letter to? I have drafted different letters. It's terrifying to realize that about myself, that I actually went so far as to go through that process. And ultimately, the thing that always kept me from going through with it was my mom, and not because she knew that I was doing this and going through this. And hi, Mom, sorry, you're like finding out about a lot of new things right now, but it was always because I knew that it would absolutely destroy my mother, and I could not handle the idea of being responsible for virtually ending my mother's life, because I couldn't fathom how she would get over me doing that. And that was always the thing that kept me. I've also realized that there's some people out there, maybe some of you out there, who don't feel like you have somebody in your life that would be destroyed. The reality is you do. And even if it means that I'm about to be that person for you, I don't know if we will ever see each other face to face, but like, I really, really need you to know that you are cared about if you just reach out to somebody, that you are worthy of a life and that you are worthy of being on this earth and contributing, and you may not know what your contribution is going to be and what your voice is going to be, and that is perfectly okay. But I promise you, you will find your voice and your power, and the fact that you are still here living and breathing and surviving and going on, even if you are in this darkness, shows that you are capable of the most powerful strength, and to cling on to that and to believe in yourself and to know that, you know what, I am worth being here because you are. And reach out to somebody and talk to a counselor. I think it's really important to also know that you shouldn't compare your situation to somebody else's. There would be times when I would be dealing with the emotional abuse and the physical chronic pain and certain things that were going on in my life, and I would think to myself, well, I don't really have the right to feel the way that I'm feeling because there are other people in this world who have it so much worse. But you are you, your experience is your experience. So it is so important to honor yourself and your experiences and not compare yourself to anybody else. All right, guys, I think that's all the tea that we have time to sip today. Make sure to leave me a comment on what subjects you want to have an open discussion about in the next Tea with Spanky, and also feel free to share your own stories and experiences. This is a safe place to have that conversation together. I've got a new upload schedule going on that I am testing out right now every Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, I'm going to try to do Tea with Spanky at least once a week. Let me know if you guys want more than once a week. Please share this video with someone that it might help, and subscribe to the channel if you are not already, because like, what are we doing if we're not subscribed and we're not like officially a family, okay? All right, it's a new year, new Spanky. Let's do this shit. I love you, smooches.